Hello, welcome back. In this video, we will work on reshaping arrays. As by reshaping, we can add or remove dimensions or change the number of elements in each dimension. It's exciting, right? So let's get started. So we have worked on statistical functions where we have seen mean, variance, median, standard deviation along with finding out the indices of minimum and maximum indices in the given array. You could just add another arguments in it and try to work out, right? That's where you will learn. That is the reason I'm not mentioning the axis in the argument maximum. Just try yourself. We have also seen the universal functions. Now it's time for us to play with one more function, which is reshape. Because reshape, the name itself says we are trying to change the shape. That means it basically gives a new shape for our array without changing its data. This plays a very vital role, and now whatever we have learned till now, whether it is random function which is from the random, or when with the help of a range function, we can work on anything, right? I'll just try to throw you a couple of examples, then you can work on it. It gives a new shape to an array without changing its data. That is very important, because in the next videos we'll be working on how do we load and save the data into the arrays, and we'll be working on stacking functions, concatenation. They play a very vital role because every one of them will be hands-on for you, right? Because everything plays a very vital role. First, let's start with arrange function. So np dot arrange of 10, because this will be a one dimension, and if I throw like this, automatically that will be a one dimension, but I want to change the shape of it, right? Because when I give a dot shape, that is a one dimension, which you already know it. So what I'll try to do is I'll just try to give np dot reshape of, what is our input? My input is array A, and how do I give the shape? I should make sure in which way I want to arrange. So if I want to arrange that thing in the basic of whether it can be 2 by 3 or 3 by 2, it's fine, but it takes the possible shape that includes factors, right? I gave 10, right? What are the possible factors of 10? It is 1 tens are 10, 2 fives are 10, 5 twos are 10, 10 ones are. That means if I gave 2 comma 5, this is my new shape. If I throw this, you could see a good result, right? See, 2 rows and 5 columns automatically. What happens if I give anything wrong in this? You could clearly see cannot reshape an array of size 10 into shape, because the factors, the multiples are not matching. 10, the possible multiples are 2 5s are, 5 2s are, 10 1s are, 1 10s are. That is the reason it is an error. So once you have got handy thing, you need not write 2 steps, but what you can do is you can directly declare in this way. np dot arrange of, I'll go for 16 and just go for reshape. You can directly throw with this. So reshape of, you could directly mention here, so 4 comma 4. That means automatically that will be a 4 by 4. So starts at 0 and ends at 50. So in this way also you could throw it. You need not worry about it, right? This plays a very vital role whether you include parentheses in it or not, because reshape function will take the first input is our array, then the new shape of it, right? Now let's go on some other hands-on thing where if I just try to make sure how can I use my random function within this. I'll just go for np dot random dot, I'll just throw random, right? I'll just throw random off, it takes array, right? So I'll just want to give same 10, and how do I throw it? I just throw it reshape of, so it is 5 comma 2, then automatically that will be a 5 by 2 shape, that is 5 rows and 2 columns. This is very much easier, right? So in that way you could just transform, right? Suppose if you just wanted to leave it to the NumPy function, the reshape function in NumPy, so that it would choose me a preferred, that means the new shape will be preferred. One shape dimension can be -1, something like this. Suppose if I could take the same example like this, so what I'll do is I'll give d is equal to np dot, or let's take a simple array. Why should we go for random? So that you could easily see, right? np dot array, because I want to give you multiple examples so that you could easily figure it out. So np dot array of 1 2 3, and I want to just make sure 4 5 6 and this is 7, 8, 9. Okay. So what is the shape of it? This is 3 by 3. So when you print D, it is very much easier. So this is 3 by 3. So automatically, if you already have an array of this shape, so what you wanted to do, if you want to just transform this, suppose if you want to give like this, so np dot reshape of, what is our input array? D, and it is of 3 by 3, right? If I want to just make sure, how could I change it? Suppose if I give 1 comma 9 and if I execute this, see, one row, and it has become a multi-dimension, right? You could generally figure it out. What happens if you change anything within this? Suppose if you give 8, you see, I cannot reshape of size 9 into shape. That's where you could make a mistake. That is the reason never ever worry about, never ever worry about the factor. That is the main key point. I mean, you need to worry about the factor, sorry. The worrying about the factor is very important. That is, if it is 9, 3 3s, 9 1s, 1 9. Okay. Even to make it very easier, let me just throw this to a variable, and if I want to just generally get the shape of it, r dot shape. So automatically you could see that is 1 row 9 columns. I just wanted to make you figure it out. But I'll give one more example where what happens if you could generally throw in this way. Suppose if I want to create a ones array. So I'll just give arr is equal to np dot ones of, suppose I want to throw in the format of 4 by 5, right? Suppose this is 4 by 5, right? That means we have 4 rows and 5 columns. What is a possible multiple for that? That is 20, right? So 4 comma 5. The shape is 4 comma 5, automatically 4 rows and 5 columns. So the possible multiples will be 4 5s, 5 4s, 120s, 10 2s in the same way, right? If you go for arr dot shape, you could generally get 4 comma 5. Then you wanted to change this, something like this. Arr dot, if you want to go for reshape of, what do you want to reshape? Just mention the shape of it. If you are taking the same array, you just mention what you wanted to give. If you could give like this 10 comma 2, that is 10 rows and 2 columns. You could see 10 rows, 2 columns. And even if you could generally change it 20 comma 1, because that will make sure you get 20 rows and 1 column only. This is with, you can play with it, right? And even if you are not worried, if you just don't mention anything, where you can use the factor of -1. Suppose if you give like this, arr dot reshape of, the possible multiple for 20 is, you can also give 4 comma 5. That becomes 4 rows and 5 columns, which you already mentioned. Or if you want to throw in this way, 5 comma 4. Always make sure the factors are matching. That is the key point you need to worry. If you mention the other factor, it will clearly tell you like this. If I give 5 comma 5, it will clearly throw an error, cannot reshape of array of size 20. Size 20 cannot be reshaped with 5 by 5, because it can be reshaped with 10 2s, that is 10 2s are 20, 4 5s are 20, 5 4s are 20, 21s are 20. That is the reason, always remember that step. And even you could interpret like this. Suppose if you could use the factor of -1, because it plays a very vital role. One shape dimension can be -1. In this case, the value is inferred from the length of the array. Suppose if I give like this, arr dot reshape of, I just mentioned 10. I just mentioned 10 comma. I'll not mention the other thing. I'll just leave it to my NumPy array and I'll throw it. So what happened over there? It has taken 10 rows. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means -1. So when I give -1, the value is inferred from the length of array and remaining dimensions. It will just imagine what is the possible number of columns should be formed in that way. And even if you throw like this, arr dot, if you could give reshape of, if you throw only one thing like this, it will clearly throw you. See what happened? It will, just let me, yeah. If you get any such kind of warnings, it's fine. So arr dot reshape of -1. So that means I did not mention anything. Automatically what happened over there? Let me just show you by talking the shape. So when I give c is equal to arr dot reshape of -1, and if I could give c dot shape, then automatically you could see that is a one-dimensional array, right? That is how, if you don't mention like this, it will automatically formed into one dimension. but I'll just throw one more thing. Suppose if I give 5, then automatically that will be a it's a 4 by 5. That is 4 rows and 5 columns. You could just play with that -1. And if in the meanwhile, if you get any notification like that with Colab, it's fine. It may happen because we are with the continuous internet connection. It may prolong you based on your internet usage. Just make sure you're connected it properly. So this is how we have worked on reshape function, where it played a very vital role. Depending on our array shape, we can just transform it. But only thing you should remember is we are making sure the factor is matching. So whether you go for random or a range function, whatever function you choose, so reshape will make sure that based on the factors, what are the possible multiples. It is, if it is 10, 2 5s, 5 2s, 10 1s, 1 10. So always remember in that way. So reshape plays a very vital role based on the given shape of the array. So it takes your input array and the new shape and the order it basically note that node can be related to order C or order F. It's up to the user interest. So we need not worry about those things. So mainly what is your input array and what is the shape you wanted to pass. Always remember that thing. It plays a very, very important role when we work on NumPy arrays. So in this video, we have worked on reshaping NumPy arrays. In the following video, we will work on saving and loading array data. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed watching it. If you have liked our content, please do hit like button and do subscribe to our YouTube channel for more useful content and exciting updates. If you want to learn such practical content at an affordable cost with Microsoft certification and instructor support, please register at academy.codegnan.com. You can also download app from Play Store as Codegnan. Never hesitate to raise queries in the comment section, and please do reply with your suggestions for more practical videos. We'll be happy to come up with it. Thank you.